and go on these cool experiences. And I'm counting this one as that. It's an adventure being here. I think it's special that we get to start the race outside of Europe. Uh, I think that's also great for the sport. Having the sport move outside of this Eurocentric, you know, I think it's just good that it's moving out of Europe and expanding a bit, and I think that's just great for the sport. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be racing in a new part of the world.
Are you a religious man, Michael? Did you go check out some of the sites?
No, I'm not religious at all. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have checked out the old city, but that's the only issue with being a pro cyclist is you get to go to these crazy parts of the world, but often you're seeing just the inside of a hotel room as opposed to these ancient sites. It was cool on one of the rides. On the ride yesterday, though, we went by a Roman Colosseum, which was special.
Just another quick question about polemics. Chris Froome is here. Some folks think he shouldn't be here because of his sublingual case. Do you have an opinion about Chris Froome being in this Giro?
I'm. It's a tough question because, to be honest, technically we're not even supposed to know about this information just because it was, it was leaked. So for me, I can't comment until after we have, all the information.
And for you coming off that Liège performance, great ride there in the classics, what did that mean for you personally after getting that second place in one of the most important races in cycling history?
That was special for sure. It was definitely a big step up for me from a performance perspective. I've had decent results in the past, but this was, I think, a better performance than all my previous ones. Also, I had a tough start to the season, and I wasn't going well, and my confidence took a bit of a shake. And because of that, coming into that race, I wasn't sure how I was going to do here. Doing pre-race interviews, I was, trying to talk down expectations just because I wasn't having the season that I wanted. However, after that race, my confidence is back up, and I'm excited to be here. And I think now with the legs that I had at Liège, it bodes well for some performances later on in the week.
And just final question, after you had top 10 throughout the last year at podium at Liège, is it now past a surprise for you to be getting these kinds of top-level results in these World Tour races?
No. Every time I do well at these races, it's still a surprise for me. This is a crazy sport. I'd never expected to be in the position that I am. When I first started cycling, I set the goal of trying to make the Olympic Games, but that was more of a pipe dream as opposed to a realistic goal. And when I got to the Olympics after that, like the rest has been kind of gravy. It's been really special, Liège in that last kilometer, like I know I was probably suffering, but I don't remember any of that pain. I just remember being so surprised at the position that I was in, being with Roman Bardet, 1K to go with a shot at, a podium. I think it was just, it was an out-of-body experience, and I think being in that position here and just being excited and not putting crazy expectations on myself will enable me to continue to get better results.
All right, thanks a lot.
So, Mike, you were chosen as or designated as team leader here. You feeling that some extra pressure for that coming into the Grand Tour as the designated leader of the team?
At the start of the season, I was told at the start of the season that I'd be one of the leaders, be the leader at the Giro, and I did start putting more pressure on myself, and I think I started to really feel the weight of that, especially when I got sick. In the off season, when I was told I was going to be this leader, it was a boost in confidence, and my training was going amazing, and I thought I was going to come in and just set the World Tour on fire. I thought I was going to be winning races right, left, and center the way my training had gone. However, after getting sick, after having a start to the season that I did not expect, like getting my doors blown off at Catalonia particularly, I was on my hands and knees, that I started to feel less excitement for this race and more just anxiety. But since then, since having the result at Liège, but also even before that at Amstel, I was riding well. Flesh, I didn't do a good job of hydrating well, but I still had a good performance, I felt. since then I've started to feel more confident and feel less pressure and just more excitement towards this race.
So team goals and personal goals for the Giro this year?
Definitely the team goals are to win stages. We've got Sasha Modolo here, who's an exceptional sprinter. He's Italian. He's hungry to win. He wants to win. We did a Cannondale meet and greet yesterday, and that was his first line. I want to win. So the team's behind him, particularly in these first few stages here in Israel. Then after that, obviously trying to tackle a stage win with on an uphill finish with me. And even later on in the race, we've got guys like Hugh Carthy and Joe Dombrowski and Nate Brown, who are great climbers, good at infiltrating breakaways, and we're hoping to see them win a stage as well. And then personal ambitions, yeah, it's to win a stage. Obviously, the GC is something that is important. However, I'm really just targeting stages and just trying not to lose time. I'm not going to put crazy expectations on myself for that general classification.
Mike, what's after the Vuelta a España performance last year? You're not here to try to win the overall in the Giro d'Italia?
Not the way my time trial is going. My time trial has improved, but it's definitely my Achilles heel. You know, I'm not gonna try and lose this race, but the big goal for me is just to win a stage. After that, you know, we'll see how things unfold.
You think a lot of the guys like Aru, Potavievo, those guys are going to suffer against Dumoulin, Froome in the time trials here?
Yeah, definitely. You look at Dumoulin, look at Froome, even look at Rowan Dennis. Those guys can ride time trials exceptionally well. They're going to put big time into riders like myself. So it's going to be up to Aru, up to Potavievo, up to even guys like me to be on the attack later on in the race in order to gain time on those guys.
So you worried already for Friday for the time trial that starts off the race, or are you excited to kick it off?
No, I wouldn't say worried. Excited. You know, like I'm not. I go pretty slow on the time trial bike, but I still love racing my bike, and I still like even, you know, sitting on a time trial bike and going 50K an hour is a pretty special feeling. So especially on a shorter one like this, it'll be cool just to be racing in Israel, having cameras on me, having the helicopter above, and going over 50K an hour on the bike.
That's it. What changes starting the Grand Tour outside of Europe?
I think there's certainly a bit more media attention here. I think it's also just, you know, special. Like, it's the first time it's been done. So, yeah, I feel like last year I was lucky enough to be in part of the 100th edition of the Giro. And this year, again, we'll be able to tell like my kids, oh yeah, I did a Grand Tour. I did the Tour of Italy that started in Israel. It was even funny explaining that to the customs officer when I was coming in. He's like, wait, you're doing the Tour of Italy in Israel? Yeah. You can't really explain that other than that. So I think that's pretty cool.
Excuse me. Still, the pressure starts to build on you after last year. I mean, the more attention's on you.
Yeah, but I'm starting to relish in that. Like, I think it's a pretty cool opportunity for me to be one of the few Canadians in the World Tour to have so much fan support back home. After Liège, it was unbelievable how many people were messaging me, calling me. Just people, like, it was overwhelming, really. I couldn't check my inbox. I had so many emails and so many messages, and I feel just really lucky to be in that position and have so many people rooting for me.
And that's a good way to come to the Giro off the hills of Liège-Bastogne-Liège.
Yeah, like, I think Liège had some great climbers in it. It was a real hard race, and to have performed the way I performed and the way I felt, I think it bodes well for the next 3 weeks.